we're going to talk about retirement, but there are some parallels with football because I was thinking about this. Okay, so you wouldn't just put 11 people out on the field and say run a play, right, Loren? So you draw a play.
Might be fun to watch.
Right.
For a little bit.
I think the chances of success are less than if you have them out on the field working together, right? Because the line pushes people one way and then the running back knows where to cut, or again, I don't know all the details here, but really having a retirement plan, I think, increases your chances of success as opposed to just, hey, let's wing it and see if we make it.
That's why these teams spend countless hours designing their playbook and then rehearsing that playbook before they ever get on the field to execute those plays, because it is so important. And if we put 11 people on the field and they were all doing their own individual thing, right, they're going to run around and it's going to be chaos. And that's just a football game. When it comes to your retirement, the rest of your life that you've been thinking about for a very long time, you want to make sure that your plays are organized and synced together, working all together on behalf of accomplishing whatever your retirement vision is.
And I think what's important to note is that these retirement plans, they're customized to you, the life you've led. You haven't lived the same life as the person sitting next to you or the sibling that you're related to. Everyone lives a different life. And our team here puts together these customized plans where not one plan looks like any other plan.
Let's go back to John and Sue, because that's exactly what we do in our online journey to retirement. You see exactly the decisions John and Sue have to make. You see the plays that they draw up. And Loren, investments is something that are on people's mind. What do we do for John and Sue with that play?
Yeah, with the volatility that we've seen in the markets, investments and investment plans and investment performance is top of mind for most people, especially if you are in retirement or within a few years of retiring, because you are either taking money out of your investments or you will be or planning on taking money out soon. But if your portfolio drops significantly, and a lot of times in our conversations, people will go back to 2008, because in 2008 is when people lost 40, 50, even 60% of their portfolio. However, the difference between 2008 and what we're seeing now is you and the phase of your life that you're in. In 2008, you had a lot more time to recoup those losses than what you do now. And a lot of times in our workshop, we'll talk about how losing money impacts you much more than gaining money. And we'll give an example. We'll say, what if you have $1 million portfolio and we went through another 2008? You lost 50% of that portfolio. What kind of rate of return do you need to get back just to even?
A lot.
And a lot.
Several years, right? Sometimes.
Well, what kind of rate of return? So you have $1 million.
Okay.
You lost 50%.
Yeah.
What kind of rate of return do you need to get back to $1 million? And a lot of people will think, well, I lost 50%, I need 50% to get back to even.
Sure.
But in reality, $1 million lost 50%, now you have 500,000. If you only earn 50%, now you only have 750,000.
I'm following the math now.
And you're still a quarter of $250,000 away from your $1 million. And this is why in 2008, it took many people 5, 6, 7, 8 years just to get back to even. So going back to John and Sue, in the Journey to Retirement workshop, we talk about how they avoid that defense. What kind of play did they put into their retirement playbook to make sure that the next 2008 that we go through, they're not going to lose 50%. And so we talk about the specific construction of that portfolio, and we call it recession resistant. Because when we go through a market condition like what we've seen recently, you're going to be down. The key is you can't be down like the market, and you can't be down so much like in 08 where it's going to change your lifestyle, where it's going to make you want to come out of retirement or maybe not retire like you had planned. And that's one of a lot of people's favorite parts of the Journey to Retirement workshop is how to John and Sue construct that portfolio to allow them to get around that volatility defense.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see how these defenses that we've talked about, these play calls that we've made, to see these on paper, and as we go through them through this workshop, it's really fun to see how these defenses pop up and how we just navigate right around them.
Yeah, and the defense that you put into play for something like that, right, to resist the recession from an investment standpoint can have a direct impact on the play that you put in for Medicare or healthcare. And they all have to be synchronized to work together. And in the Journey to Retirement workshop, you talk about what some of those plays are.
That's right. And especially long-term care. This is a big one. A big question we get also is, do I need to buy a long-term care policy? Or do I need to self-fund? How much money do I need to do this? Well, what's fun to see as we go through the process with our families is that is one of those that is a guided decision. The plan can show you whether or not you can and should self-fund or what other options, hybrids, anything else out there available that can fit that piece.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we talk about here today, I mean, just going back to the play I drew up, I mean, it looked like a mess. And sometimes
I know how to run it. I was following you, coach. Don't worry. Yeah.
A lot of times life does feel messy, especially when you're on the cusp of making some very important decisions that you never had to make before. So your playbook should be simple. You should be able to turn to the income part of your playbook and say, here's how much money you need to live on to have the lifestyle that you want. Here's exactly where you're going to get that from. Not only where you're going to get it from now, but later down the road, so you have confidence in that decision and you know those decisions are sustainable to help you accomplish whatever your retirement play should be. Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.